Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
And then the other officer went and started questioning my partner, Margaret. And he wanted her details. Well, Margaret's a little bit nervous, so she got upset and she started crying. Anyway, he asked her details, and for some reason he wanted to know where she was born as well. And after giving our details, we were taken back really. We didn't understand what was happening. We said, well, what's happening now? Are we fine or what?
Lincoln J for Rebel News here in London, England. Now today I'll be sharing with you the story of Clive Dale. Clive is one of the many people who's reached out to us through our campaign at fightthefines.co.uk. Now Clive was on the receiving end of an unjust fine when he was simply just having a cup of tea with his wife by the beach. Overzealous policing? Who knows? Stay tuned to the end of the video so you can see how you can help Clive fight back through our campaign at fightthefines.co.uk. Have a listen to Clive's story.
We stood here on the Marine Drive at Scarborough. Going back last year, November the 13th, along with my partner Margaret, we came into Scarborough to do some shopping for groceries, but it was a nice day and we hadn't been anywhere due to the lockdown, and so we suggested that we'd bring a flask and sit here on the Marine Drive, which I did just over the road here, and have a cup of tea before we went shopping. So that's what we did, and we just got parked, poured a cup of tea out, and two police officers approached us, asked us what we were doing. I said we were sitting having a cup of tea. And so he said, well, where have you travelled from? I said, well, we've travelled from Malton, which is about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour drive from Malton into Scarborough. And so he says, you have travelled from Malton to Scarborough to sit at the seaside and drink tea? I said, well, yeah, we're having a cup of tea. He said, that is unessential travel. I'll have to take your details, which he took my details. The other police officer was taking the registration number to check my car out. And then the other officer went and started questioning my partner, Margaret. And he wanted her details. Well, Margaret's a little bit nervous, so she got upset and she started crying. Anyway, he asked her details, and for some reason he wanted to know where she was born as well. And after giving our details, we were taken back really. We didn't understand what was happening. We said, well, what's happening now? Are we fine or what? They said, oh, you'll get a letter, and just walked away and left us. And we were confused. Margaret was upset. So we thought, well, we can't do anything there. She felt sick. She threw her tea away. And so we just packed up and we carried on back to the supermarket and did the shop we'd come to do originally. And a fortnight later, I received this through the post, which is a fixed penalty notice. And it says on it here, contravening regulations, and it says that a male was in his car. He told me he had travelled to Scarborough from Malton to sit by the sea to drink tea. Well, we had, but we were also going shopping, but they didn't actually ask if we had any other business in the town or had any other reason for coming to Scarborough. As far as we were concerned, we were abiding by the rules, because it does say in the government regulations you can travel to do any shopping or services, and we were coming to do some shopping. And also, it does say in the government regulations you can go to a place of beauty for recreational reasons, and that's what we were doing, therapeutic and recreational reasons. We were a bit depressed because we hadn't been anywhere. Margaret has been depressed because she hasn't seen her daughter for a long time. And so we're going to sit here, over the road there, half an hour, have a cup of tea, and so I can't see that we ever broke any regulation whatsoever. I don't think it's just. The government regulation was only printed 5 or 6 days prior to us being issued with this fixed penalty, and we hadn't broke any rules according to them regulations. So I think we were targeted on that particular day. I don't know where the police come from, they just appeared. But we were sat there and we're pensioners. I'm 71, Margaret's 69. We weren't doing anybody any harm. We'd never got out of the car. We had no intentions of going out of the car. But we must have been easy targets because we did say, well, you know, there's other people about. They said, oh, well, we have been speaking to them. But they didn't speak to us. They did speak to us, but then we got a fixed penalty. And there was other people about on the beach, as you can see, like there is now. So why we were picked out and targeted, I don't know really. Now in Scarborough, they've just recently built a big store and you can get everything there. I have another little store close where I live, but it's half the size and you can't always get what you want. So to me, it was essential to come and do shopping for food and groceries. Now what's essential to me might not be essential to somebody else. And the other thing with the police officer, I said to him, well, it doesn't say in the regulations how far you can travel. It doesn't say that. He said, well, not knowing isn't a defence. Well, to me, is 3 miles essential? Is 10 miles essential? What is essential? Because there's a variation. I'm really pleased with Rebel News. I've come in and taken this case up, and I really appreciate it. And I hope doing this will help other people, which Rebel News might be helping, and thank you for anybody what's actually donated.
Well, there you have it. You've heard Clive's story. Now, luckily, with your crowdfunding, we're able to provide Clive with a legal team to help fight back against this fine. Here's what they had to say.
I'm Daniel from 3D Solicitors. We're representing Clive Dale. Clive approached us to deal with the police who had issued a fine after he was caught having a flask of coffee in a car with his wife. He has rejected the fine. He sent them a lengthy, detailed letter explaining why, and we are waiting for the authorities to reply to him, and then we'll consider what our next move is.
Now, you've just heard from Daniel Burke. Daniel's going to do a great job fighting back and has already had some great wins for Brits with fines. We need your help crowdfunding his legal fees at fightthefines.co.uk so we can back Clive 100%. If you or anyone you know is at the receiving end of a fine that has anything to do with COVID-19, please reach out to us at fightthefines.co.uk. Please don't pay that fine. We'll get you a lawyer and we'll fight it for you. For Rebel News, I'm Lincoln J. If you want to help fight back against these unjust coronavirus fines, please donate via the website at fightthefines.co.uk. And if you or anyone you know is at the receiving end of one of these fines, go to the website, fill out a form, don't pay that fine, we'll get you a lawyer and we'll fight it for you.